So back in 2009, you might have seen a preview like this.
From the director of Superbad.
Accepting this t-shirt, you are
hired.
I'm amazed at how tiny my paycheck is.
We are doing the work of pathetic, lazy morons.
You must be over 17.
You been drinking drugs?
I think I had a bad corn dog.
Yeah, don't ever eat the corn dog.
To enjoy this ride.
Every time you meet a beautiful woman, don't you imagine what she'd look like naked?
Overhead him! Yeah! You got him!
And when you saw that preview, you probably thought you were gonna get this.
You know when you hear girls saying like, oh, I was so gone last night, I shouldn't have slept with that guy. We could be that mistake.
Engage.
Hey, Becca.
But what you actually got instead was this.
And I realized I don't want to tend to Betsy's hours or her times. I mean, that doesn't matter. Anyway, I drove to Betsy's house and I was literally about to tell her. And that's the night she said she wanted to have sex. Can you believe it? It was the same, it was the same night, so.
And you didn't just fuck her anyway?
No. So, what about you? And, intercourse?
Can you stop saying intercourse?
Sure.
Yeah, this wasn't well marketed. I'm Whitaker Martin of Video Reviews, and in this installment of Second Look, we're gonna make a correction and review Adventureland. Released on April 3rd, 2009, Adventureland was writer-director Greg Mottola's ode to the summer he had to work as a carny. Mismarketed as a raunchy young adult comedy, Adventureland is in fact a mature drama about young adults making their way out of school and into the working world. While we do see some comedic hijinks going on at work, mostly coming from Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig as the park managers, the bulk of the picture revolves around a budding romance between two young adults who've been dealt some curveballs and need to make their way through some tough realities. What really sets this film apart from the pack is its commitment to its characters. You really believe these are three-dimensional individuals making their way through crappy summer jobs. No plot point feels contrived, no character motivation feels forced. This is a very honest film about work and relationships. So what's the plot of the film? Our protagonist, James Brennan, played by Jesse Eisenberg, has just graduated college with an undergrad in journalism and thinks he's going to spend the summer in Europe. But his dad has been forced to take a pay cut, meaning money is tight, and James has to get a summer job.
No, I've never actually driven an asphalt mixer per se, but I did once drive my friend's van to Wisconsin on a pretty lengthy road trip. Yeah. So, okay, is there any way I could take less? They hung up. What am I supposed to do? I'm not even qualified for manual labor.
By the way, that manual labor line wound up becoming my personal motto during the summer of 2009 while I looked for a temporary job in Michigan. The only place that will hire him is the amusement park Adventureland, where he will manage the rigged games. Fellow carny Joel shows him through the ropes. He's played by Martin Starr.
$1 buys 5 rings. If one of the rings lands on one of the red bottles, they win a giant-ass panda.
That is a giant-ass panda.
Yeah, it's the best prize in the park, and that's because this game is unwinnable. Observe. I'll drop a ring from 3 inches away.
So, nobody ever wins?
If someone wins a giant-ass panda on your watch, you should just go home because you're fired, okay?
During the summer, James develops feelings for another worker in the games department, Em Lewin, played by Kristen Stewart. Their conversations tend to revolve around music, marijuana, dating history, future goals, and family. In short, there's substance to their interactions.
Yeah, she used to read my journals. I had to start writing them in Italian. I took Italian for a year. I went through an opera. Okay, she's good.
So Joel told me that you're gonna go to Columbia, grad school.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm at NYU right now.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll run into you on the streets of NYC.
What James doesn't realize is that Em is secretly seeing another man, the married maintenance worker Mike Connell, played by Ryan Reynolds. A lot of films would likely fall into the trap of making this guy an unrepentant jerk, but Reynolds is smarter than that. His portrayal is more of a conflicted cool guy.
Is your mom okay?
Yeah, she's a little dramatic, my mom. Kind of nutty since my dad skipped out.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. Left a long time ago. This is cool.
Yeah, Lou Reed.
Oh, yeah.
As you can tell from these clips, not only are we being presented with relatable characters, they're having authentic conversations too. Greg Mottola's clearly got a good ear for how people talk. Regarding the mismarketing, it is true that the film features some raunchy moments, mostly coming from James' quote-unquote friend, Frigo, played by Matt Bush. However, they often aren't punchline moments. Usually the final gag is some offhand excuse instead.
Let's go, Penny Stain. Penny Stain, that's me. Good night, everybody.
Hey, I could give you a ride if you want.
Really? Frigo, I got a ride. Really?
What?
Yeah.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
what?
I got a ride. You can go. Good night.
You got a ride?
Yes.
All right, then why don't you, ride this? Oh my God. All right, I'll sit right.
What the hell was that?
It's just my life.
If there's humor in the film, it's often of a dry variety. While Mottola's previous feature, Superbad, benefited from having its characters go through wacky, over-the-top shenanigans, Adventureland benefits from having its characters go through the nuts and bolts of building relationships and surviving their summer jobs. Since Adventureland was a low-budget character piece, I'm not going to delve into the technicals too much. The editing, camera work, and sound are all fine, no fancy effects required. However, the film is technically a period piece. It's set in 1987. But don't think you're going down a trip of nostalgia lane. That's more of an incidental detail. Oh sure, you get plenty of 80s songs like Rock Me Amadeus and Satellite of Love, and at least one character consistently sports 80s fashion, but the main reason this is set in 1987 is because, well, director Greg Mottola worked at the real Adventureland in 1985. It's a fun detail, but honestly, this story could be set during any summer. Returning to the story, what is it that makes Adventureland a cut above? Well, for starters, it's a pretty good representation of how young adults have to work their way through summer jobs. I never worked in an amusement park myself, but I did a lot of dishwashing in the kitchens during my college summers, and I can relate to some of the monotonous moments of this film.
A little more than 40% of these fish are dead.
I'm amazed at how tiny my paycheck is. I've been working doubles.
But we are doing the work of pathetic, lazy morons.
Jesus fucking Christ, they play this song like 20 times a day.
Fucking sadists. Fucking sadists.
Another thing that stands out is how good the acting is. Take a look at Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart here. The chemistry is very palpable. It's easy to buy them as a young couple. Heck, they've since appeared together in 2 more films, American Ultra and Cafe Society.
Do you have any more of that pot?
Yeah, at home. Why?
We should make pot cookies.
Okay.
That would be so fun. Have you done that?
I have not. I've had cookies.
Right. My connections have all dried up. That's why I'm asking.
Your connections have dried up? What do you think, I have like ties to the underworld or something? I own 5 joints. You think I'm like put out a hit on somebody or? Yeah.
Also very good is Martin Starr as James' friend Joel. I knew people like Joel in college, intelligent, moral individuals who would be honest in assessing others. In this scene, he has to give James a quick dressing down after James has a date with another woman.
You don't even appreciate what you have. You're chasing after Lisa P. When you have this incredible, beautiful girl right fucking there.
Joel stands out in contrast to moments of chauvinism that you see through the film. Notice here how Connell casually plays a machismo card, but doesn't seem aware he may be saying something wrong.
Every time you meet a beautiful woman, don't you imagine what she'd look like underneath you? Naked?
What? No. No.
Someone like Lisa P. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's like every cell in your body's on fire, right?
That's a little hyperbolic, but yeah, no, I see where you're going. Yeah.
That's the way we're wired. It's the way we're wired. It sucks, but it's just a fact of nature. It's also tragic.
I don't know about you, but when I see this kind of sexism displayed, it's usually done in a casual boys will be boys way. It's a lot more subtle than we may realize, and I appreciate Reynolds for recognizing this. This actually gets to the final thing that really stands out about Adventureland. There's a great contrast in interests, motivations, and values in these characters. We're seeing more than just what happened during the summer at Adventureland. We're seeing how it potentially shaped these characters' futures. I think Greg Mottola has looked on the past with a comprehensive eye. He's gone beyond the crazy antics that can shape our youth. He's seeing how the ways we can relate to other people, and how we can fail to relate to other people, cut deep into our memories. And of the people we meet, some may be shallow, some may be less than ideal, but it's the ones who make us and sometimes even force us to become better people that stay with you in the end. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I really connected to these characters. Beyond the comedic hijinks, beyond the 80s ambiance, even beyond the sweet romance at the center of it all, Adventureland is a very honest film about how young adults make their way through life. I see myself in some of these characters, and I see plenty of other people, particularly those I met in college, in these characters. There isn't one false note in the casting, the dialogue, or the story. This feels real. Superbad may always be the film Greg Mottola is remembered for, but as far as I'm concerned, Adventureland is his crowning achievement.
I think my mother would rather I intern at some Fortune 500 company or something like that.
Ah, fuck that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what did you think about Adventureland? Go ahead and leave a comment. While you're at it, is there a movie you think deserves a second look? Special mention to Ron Hipschman for his help in the making of this review. Thank you very much, Ron. My name is Whitaker Martin of Whittier Reviews, and this has been A Second Look. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.